a sailor coming up strong at the animal bar. Ever-loving mug of Mr. Norman Mailer. Turn another page at the animal bar, and it won't be long. No, it won't be long. No, it won't be long, because it can't be long. The cry of isolation. The higher meditation. The sweet precipitation. The higher deprivation, and it won't be long. No, it won't be long. No, it won't be long, because it can't be long. Rain on my frustration, stake my claim. Now break this, wash me down. My station makes more rain, forsaken, in between the sky and every piece of the earth. 1, 2, 3, like this. Running through the mud, I got a feeling of love. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. All aboard the ship, 'cause you're gonna need an arc. When the wet comes down, you'll be swimming like a shark. Mopping up the pain, and I'm a little older. Right as rain at the animal bar, and it won't be long. No, it won't be long. No, it won't be long, because it can't be long. The cry of isolation. The higher meditation. For my precipitation. The higher deprivation, and it won't
Sleepy goes in. Have you ever seen this before?
Oh,
And the fourth
he
Doctor.
died!
Welcome to your life.
Neil the nail.
And the first human is gone.
That's the first nail in the coffin. Oh, that's a good one.
Sorry, Crusader.
You on the flip side, Crusader.
Jojo Binks is injured by the crowd.
Acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. It's my own desire. It's my own remorse. Help me to decide. Help me make the most of freedom and of pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to rule the world. And now the walls come tumbling down. When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad we've almost made it. So sad we had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to rule the world.
The sign above the door says all rats must die, but we'll let Nuffle decide whether that'll be the case today. Welcome along, everyone, to another round of 32 match, and this one is, well, it could go either way. I have Metal alongside me.
Hello. Hello, Rebel. How we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing not too bad. How is yourself?
Spoiler free. We're doing a thing, right? No, I'm good. I just had a shower, refreshed, I had a brilliant sandwich, and I'm ready to go.
Right, so this Skaven team is only 1 season old, and it says it down here we've had 6 dead and 4 retired, which is quite a lot for 1 season. So we are living up to the name a bit. This is how the team looks, and you've got to be honest and say it is all about the gutter runners because there is very little else.
The problem is that the Storm Vermin keep dying. I mean, like, he did literally name his team All Rats Must Die. But he got his wish a little bit, and the Storm Vermin keep falling over. Sis, surprisingly, didn't kill that much of the team.
Yeah, for that team, you'd certainly be surprised that that hasn't happened. But we do have a fantastic natural one-turner.
Yeah, it's absolutely ludicrous. I have to say, like, Sis tried his best to get to it, but Scytalen is so cagey with that thing. To the point where Bloodthirsty Witness, the actually brilliant ball recovery guy, got just left flapping in the wind repeatedly and somehow survived.
Bolt Witness helping himself too. I believe it was a hat-trick in the win over AnimalFarm. And having defeated AnimalFarm, All Rats Must Die are now facing the farm animals.
Just, you know...
It's weird how things work out sometimes.
They are slightly less scary.
Only slightly.
I mean, marginally. A little bit.
Chabxxu returning to the playoffs for the 2nd season in a row with this Chaos team. And it's looking even better than it did this time last season.
Yeah, it's a bit good, isn't it? Apart from that warrior that died. Because every warrior died, like, across the world. During week 13, warriors just dropped dead. Across Chaos teams everywhere. It's a real problem.
It's unfortunate, but we did see Chabxxu in the Season 8 playoffs pick up a win against Sean Man. back in the days when Sean Mann had a Skaven team to speak of. So he has previous for knocking out Skaven teams in this competition. So we will see if he can do it again today. We believe the Rats are due to get around 700k in inducements. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, your Chaos Warriors died much sooner. There's a lot to induce, right? You're gonna go for a wizard because you're a Skaven team, right? I mean, that's mandatory. You're gonna go for babes because you're AV7.
Mm-hmm.
You might get an Apo to try and protect the natural one-turn nonsense machine.
I think you're more likely to just pick up a bunch of line rats.
I'd definitely pick up the line rat army. I'd definitely consider the line rat army. I know he was talking about. I caught him in G-Man chat just the other day, and he was talking about a couple of different possibilities for star players because he took Glart in the first game, and I have to say, as per usual, Glart kind of didn't impress, but he used him better than most because a lot of people induce Glart and then go, right, he's got claw, so he must be a killer, right? But he doesn't have mighty blow, so Glart is kind of like a stun machine, maybe a couple of KOs.
The call has been made in chat, and chat want to see Big Rat.
Yeah, Big Rat is auto Big Guy was useless, I think, to be fair. Star player removed early, possibly. I don't know. I think we might see Glart again, because like I said, he used him well. I mean, Sace had a lot of stand firm players, so Glart was using Juggernaut quite actively to push those around and things like that. That isn't present on this Chaos team. And again, without the need for the Juggernaut, I mean, the Strength 4 is still kind of nice, but without the need for the Juggernaut, I just don't think Glart's a must-have in this matchup.
It is Strength 4, Armor 7, and you don't see many of them knocking around on Chaos teams.
There is that.
At the same time, the farm animals came through the round of 64 against the Boss Hog Outlaws, who were a one-season-old Chaos Dwarf team. They survived that unscathed, no damage at all to the team.
I think it helped that the Boss Hog Outlaws kind of, against all wisdom, induced Grashnak and then never used him.
Well, that's the thing.
I think he didn't blitz with Grashnak for 15 turns out of 16. And I think if you're going to take a Strength 6 Minotaur that doesn't have Wild Animal, you probably should deploy the Wild Animal a little bit.
Or at the very least, deploy the Minotaur, yeah.
Yeah.
So, predictions for this one. Can Scytalen do it again? Can he possibly win a second match against a farm animal-themed Chaos team?
I have a feeling he's got the tools to do the job. What Chabxxu needs to do is not do what Sace did, which was completely be useless at removing players. Like, if Chabxxu's damage, his Mighty Blow is piling on fire, I think he's got a chance. But if it doesn't, we're going to have another situation where the Rats just cage off against their one-turner and then just go, ooh, look at me, I can run right down to the end of the pitch really, really fast and score in one turn and you can't do anything about it.
The inducement array then is Wizard, Glart, Babe, and the Movement 9 Gutter Runner plus Bribe. So that's Skitter.
Well, it could be Hackflem.
It could be Hackflem.
I wouldn't take Skitter in this matchup because he's kind of useless.
Stab the AV7.
It's a terrible decision, Harringzord.
Well,
Mind you, Lydius proved against Cheese the other day that you can win a game 3-1 with 9 blocks.
Well, there you go.
He did stab a troll and injured it.
The winner of this one will be facing the winner of Drakar's Dominators and Film Flayers, who played last night, also on this channel. So we won't spoil the result of that one for you if you haven't caught the game, but of course you can work out for yourself, if you have seen it, who the winner of this will be facing.
I have to say, we've had a couple of blowouts this round. Like, quite a few. So I'm hoping we get some close... without spoiling, like, I've mentioned that that's a thing, but I'm not going to talk about it in detail. But I'm hoping we start seeing some closer games come through.
Well, the eagle-eyed amongst the audience might have spotted the result from my game as I went into Cabal TV there, because of course it's the first replay available to me. But we won't talk about that, because if anyone wants to go back and watch that game, they can do. It was over on Metal's channel. You don't want to be watching the Sadomasochistes versus Wood United, as far as I'm aware.
Has to be said, they have some great names, though.
I have seen this team, but the game is live, and we're about to find out if all rats really must die.
Well, I think we think they should, but I don't know if they will.
Now, folks, following this game, we've got a double header for you here, because we have another match starting at the conclusion of this one, really, as Le Gland Bleu, a Wood Elf team from REL, are going to be taking on Bloodsuckers Inc. And
unlike Bloodsuckers Inc., who came through the first round pretty much completely unscared, despite Random Boy making the weirdest decisions we may have ever seen on the Blood Bowl pitch, Le Gland Bleu came out very much scared, if that's the opposite of unscathed.
I think it is.
They've got a niggled tree and a dead war dancer.
Here we have sweltering heat.
God, this is actually terrible for the Chaos.
As you see, Hackflem Scuttlespike on the field, who has an extra arm, a prehensile tail, and 2 heads. As well as
he's actually really good. He's really good. Like,
of course, the 2-star players does allow us to leave the gutter runner on the sideline there, Bought Witness, but it also at the same time gives us a little bit more utility rather than just having a standard army of loner line rats.
Absolutely, yeah. It's better than just the loners, but I think at the same time we're going to definitely need some loners for next game, because the LOS blocks might hurt. It is worthy of note that we're taking place in a sandwich kiosk, so there's no rocks, there's no refs, which I think hurts Scytalen. No, it probably does hurt Chabxxu a little bit more, because
well, it hurts the one who would have had the rock thrown at their opponent, which you can't
and
really
looking at it,
call.
That would say it would be probably Scytalen, because he's got the +1 firm.
Wow, yeah, incredibly, the 1 season old Skaven team have managed to get the +1 fame for this one, so it should be an interesting game. It's Skaven, of all the rookie teams that arrive into playoffs, tend to be the ones that are capable of doing the best. Them and Dark Elves.
I've had a chance to look at a quick shot of the Hackflem, by the way, because he is quite an impressive rat. That's like, he's like a spider at this point.
I'm counting 6 limbs and 2 heads. So,
not quite. He's an insect. He's an ant or something. I don't know. It's a bit weird.
Ant. Whichever sort of weird, creepy crawly you prefer. Anyway, here comes the kickoff, and we do not. No, we do have the kick skill. Sorry, on this Skaven team.
And I'd say it is worthy of note as well that heat, as you say, being in play, does affect the rats probably less.
Oh, and it would have been a get the ref.
The only reason I'm suggesting that is because obviously the Chaos team are likely to have 10 to 11 men at the end of the drive, whereas the Skaven team are much less likely to have 11 Skaven. Therefore, the less players you roll for, the better, the less affected you can be by heat, right?
In theory, here comes a piling on Mighty Blow blitz on the kicker. And that's both down from the rabbits and an injury straight off the bat.
Well, that's a good start.
He kicked the ball and then he went and sat on the sideline.
Larier literally got Lariered into the grave. It's
push away here from the claw. I hesitate to say claw because of course it's an AV-17 for the most part.
Things I don't like, Harringzord. This set of line of scrimmage blocks. Like, that loner could have taken an extra hit if he'd have pushed down a line, but he chose not to.
So just the one lot of damage coming in on the kicker. He's out for the rest of the game, and that didn't take long.
Swedish Assault, the Skaven teams in my division didn't manage to murder the one-turner. So what we're seeing is Swedish Assault, essentially, it's all his fault.
Yeah, the natural one-turner, if you're just getting here, is on the sideline. Bought Witness. He is movement 10, he's agility 5, sprint, and sure feet. And that is pretty much all he needs, as long as he's over on the bench.
If you can protect him, that's literally all he needs.
Here comes the attempted pickup from the dog. And extra arms helping him out there. So the game is on. Now, who is your first blitz target if you are Scytalen right now?
I reckon you go for chicken too.
Yeah,
You
the
kinda-
frenzy.
You kind of just don't overcommit to anything, I think, if you're Scytalen. You just pick off players one by one. You want to try and find a world where you can hit the rabbit, ideally. But until you get that, you just probably pick on the AV8 with your Mighty Blow.
Well, he's got a dirty player knocking around as well, who may be able to foul anything that does go on the floor.
Fouling is... Oh, yeah, I've got a bribe as well, so fouling is on the cards. You only picked up one babe. So there's every world where essentially you move Glart over to Mark and blitz with Judge Alice, and I think I'd do that because Mighty Blow's pretty good.
That looks exactly like what the plan is.
That's Hackflem Scuttle Spike, Swedish Salt.
We get the pout on the chicken. And all rats must die. Looking to strike back here, but failing to find a double one won't quite do it.
But he can set up quite a decent foul, and I think I would. The rats had about 700k Eldar. So we've marked off one more on our bingo card if you're watching.
Yeah, so we picked up a wizard, a bribe, a babe, Glot Smashrip Jr. and Hackflem Scuttle Spike.
They did a really good... The more I look at it, the more I think they did a really good job with Hackflem. He's such a nice model, you know?
We'll take a quick look at him now. He hasn't moved. There he is.
Random Boy, it's not about the block frenzy. It's about trying to find any numbers advantage you can anyway. You've got a bribe.
And a Storm Vermin stands in the way while we're doing that.
This isn't a match where you're guaranteed to save DP. I think it's, you know... I know we're trying to hit the bingo card where, you know, you induce a bribe and then never use it, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you never foul, but you take a foul, right? You need to play the removal game.
We are going to foul.
Bit. I like it. It's a good call. It's the right call.
We haven't really done a very good job of protecting that gutter runner at all.
Which one? Bloodthirsty Witness?
Yeah, the sure hands on. But here comes a foul on the chicken. And the chicken is stunned, and the bribe is already gone.
Oh. Not the best. Not the best first turn.
We're going to send a gutter runner around the back to cause a little bit of havoc here.
This is very much Scytalen's play line and play style. He does like to pressure, like a cheeky sack on the ball. God damn it! Can I ban Random Boy from the chat? Go on, let me. Let me.
Ban him in a couple of hours when we're casting his game.
Fine, I'll purge him.
Oh, likeable Snarl has produced a very likeable dodge result there. So well done him.
Well done him indeed. I have to say, if I was Chabxxu, right, I would absolutely gun for Bloodthirsty Witness.
Failed dodge this time from Franz's niece Emma, who is stunned.
Because I've said to Scytalen before, like, he leaves this Gutterer too exposed. And I think, like, he protects the Wrestle Dauntless one, and then leaves the Big Hand one out in the open. And I feel like the Big Hand one is a better player to protect. Because, let's face it, it's got a double on it. That's harder to replace if something goes wrong, right?
I mean, they're good in combination, right? The Big Hand one is only useful if the Wrestle Dauntless has done his job.
Well, especially because Andy's already played Eldar.
I wonder, you know, whether this is actually a bait with Bloodthirsty Witness to try and get that killer forward into a position where he might be able to foul him.
That's a possibility.
I think instead the killer is going to gun for Scared Witness.
I feel like it might even be Judge Alice. It depends if he respects. I mean, you've got to remember for example, the Dirty Player has 6 AV, so that's a really tempting target all by itself, right? Even with the bribe gone, like, it's kind of a play you have to follow with because you don't ever want it getting hit. If that makes sense.
Indeed, and here comes the hit on Hackflem. And we find a POW.
No, I quite like that. But I don't think you follow up and pile on.
We didn't quite get the star player removed instantly there. Double 6 into a 3. So no removal that turn.
Wow. Auto mod is going off on you there. It's interesting that, like, the first usage of the C-bomb didn't trigger auto mod, but the second and third usage did.
Yeah. So
I'm going to let
there
you make
go.
a decision on those Harringzord. It's your string.
We will deny them for now. Let's keep the language. It's a family show, folks. It's a family show. Until, you know, everyone's pet rats get horribly massacred.
Well, I think, you know, that's coming.
Smag Tusk, of course, finding his way around the problem.
I mean, he has got the nationality card, which kind of is a thing. It's like the race card, but from a different...
Now,
I don't know.
I don't want to be awful, but there's a shot on the ball here, right?
There is. It's not the best shot on the ball, but you take it every single day of the week.
Take your 3+ Dauntless here for a chance of knocking down the bull, and then, hey presto, we're in.
It's even a 2 dice if you get this knockdown. Especially if it's a push back and knockdown, because you can get a player in above... you can get a player to mark Rat 4, then you can get a player in that gap between the bull and the dog, or just above the top of the REBBL logo, and then you can chuck your Stormvermin out.
3+ Dauntless fails, and we've double pushed anyway.
It's not enough though, is it?
It is not enough to get that shot, but at least we don't lose the gutter runner. Chabxxu perhaps getting away with one there.
I think he did get away a little bit with that one. If Dauntless had gone off, that was a pretty easy knockdown because the bull is completely unskilled and it was wrestle anyway, so... Although not with 2 pushes, regardless of if it was red or white dice.
And of course, as has been correctly pointed out, there is always a shot on the ball with a wizard in play.
Sometimes it's a 1 though.
So we sort of need to get disengaged.
There is a fairly greedy fireball. If you're going to play attrition fireballs, you could hit worse attrition fireballs, I suppose. But attrition fireballs are bad, and you should feel bad. That's what you just hope.
This is kind of the problem you find with Skaven. You base them up with lots of strength 4 and guard, and suddenly it's 3+ dodges to get out of dodge.
Literally to get out. Yeah, I'll leave that one.
I mean, if you wanted to play the attrition fireball game, why not blitz that Claw Mighty Blow Chaos Warrior and make it a 6-player attrition fireball?
Push or better to make it a 6-man.
Stranger plays have worked.
Yeah, I guess.
Put the chaos in the oven, see what happens.
Usually nothing. If we're honest with ourselves.
Yeah, I quite enjoy cooked goat. There's a failed dodge, and that is the last thing we needed right now. That'll probably burn a reroll.
I think you've got to. It's too early in the turn, isn't it? There's too many players.
9 is a nightmare result. It was a blitz as well.
Where was he going? Was he going for a 1 dice on the killer?
I think he was.
I mean, I don't hate it, but there's no way in the world.
Knocked down, and instant removal of the dirty player. Elliot is gone.
I don't mind not using the killer for that one because it is, of course, better served going after something like Glart at this point.
Fairly disastrous start for Scytalen, who cannot get a dice roll at the moment.
He's not had much of anything, has he? Or, hear me out now, does Glart go down to this warrior? He doesn't. But if he had, we could have even gone after Bloodthirsty Witness.
We still can.
I kind of feel like Glart's the target.
You are correct. And the killer does not find the knockdown, re-rolls it. The greed is good.
How good? How good is Greed right now? Uh-oh.
Stun, but you might well be tempted. Well, it might be a KO, of course. Piling on's in play. And
It's stun, but you didn't use Mighty Blow on the armor.
Glart Smasher is knocked out.
It's a big removal. Feel filthy to root for Chaos, but I'm not rooting for Rats ever. That makes sense.
And so far, you have to say Chabxxu's barely been forced to make any decisions at all.
Well, his main decision is who do I punch first? Like, which order do I take my blocks? And that's not necessarily a difficult world for a Chaos player to be in, is it?
Of course, Skaven with a wizard and that big hand player. What you might suggest is that the longer the half goes on, the more removals there are, the quicker we might see that wizard burned. If you don't have the big hand, sure hands player, then your recovery is pretty much non-existent.
I would say I expect this match to go slightly over quicker than yours, because I think the removals are going to be slightly higher than that one.
It's that's not a star player. You can't tick off star player because it only counts if Glart doesn't come back for the rest of the game.
Yeah, if Glart never wakes up, which is unlikely because there's a bed. This is still, like... Go on, throw another player in there. What could go wrong? That's not going to turn into an even more tempting fireball.
He wants to bait the fireball at this point, doesn't he?
I feel like this is a fireball bait. But I feel like it's still a fairly worthwhile fireball.
Four players. Mathematically, you should knock down two of them, right?
4 players who are all AV8 as well, which... In fact, one of
and
them's
here
AV7.
is the fireball. And we got one, which is an injury. What did we say about strength 4, armor 7? He's now movement 5. And I don't think you Apo that. I think that's just the end of his career. So there is a Wrestle Dauntless shot on the ball. The fireball was fairly weak, but it got rid of the 1 out of the 4.
You can actually make this a 2 dice as well.
You got to do exactly that, and Scytalen might be in here.
That was the best possible player to remove. Like, if you wanted to knock one of them down, that was the best possible one to knock down.
Here we go. Scared Witness has a job to do. And that is a Dauntless success and a Wrestle success as well. The ball is on the floor. And the scatter is really bad.
Yeah, that's... I hate to say it, but you... Actually, no, Likeable Snarl hasn't acted yet. Likeable Snarl could be the hero that we need here.
He has to 1 dice a Claw Mighty Blow block Chaos Warrior onto the ball.
Go. Off you go.
Good luck, fella.
That's what he's paid for, right?
Because we've burned the wizard, he kind of has to do it right now.
Yeah, you've got to commit, because you didn't get a knockdown that actually risked, broke armor on the dog, so you kind of have to just go, well, this is life now.
Likeable Snarl.
How likable is he? You did do a 3+ dodge earlier. How you're good at judging alone as Harringzord. How do you feel about this guy?
He's likable. He is not likable. No, he's probably dead.
Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh god, he is. Oh, likable Snarl. No. I liked him. He was likable.
So did the Chaos Warrior.
Yeah, Chabxxu's probably thanking him.
And Chabxxu will presumably just scoop this thing back up, and that is the wizard threat gone.
So remember that wizard you had? Yeah, you don't have anymore. Well, unlucky, Scytalen.
Blitz coming in on the loner line rat. Not the loner, sorry, the rookie line rat. Tom's oldest Carl, and he is also stunned.
Yeah, Chat are calling that the rats did the job because they removed a beastman from next week, so there's one less to worry about. I kind of hate to say it, but I think that's might even get to be all she wrote.
He needs the 1 in 36 sure hands pick-up fail.
As a minimum, that's what he needs. It then has to be a good scatter too, because just a pick-up fail on its own is not good enough.
Yeah, we don't even get that. We've already lost 4 rats here. Although, of course, they're not out of it with the natural one-turner on the bench. The thing that Scytalen actually needs to do now is completely disengage.
Hutzler, it was dodging into 3 tackle zones and picking up in 3 tackle zones as a loner. I would have said no. Steve, while I see your argument, like, it's permanently on the field already. It's been dragged to the field after the first drive, which is the worst situation to be in as rats.
Well, to be honest, the first drive is going to end on turn 8, so he's going to do his job. And if he succeeds, the game is still on. If he doesn't, then it's probably done. But there is sweltering heat in play as well, and that might make it difficult for Chabxxu to set up a defence against the one-turner.
Well, I did mention that, didn't I, obviously, near the beginning, was that sweltering heat does benefit the rats because the chaos are always going to be up numbers, really, unless like you're literally going opposite way. So...
I mean, technically, you know, there's a Wrestle Dauntless shot on the ball. The Wrestle Dauntless is right next to the ball.
I don't hate it.
Is
that
an oversight?
It's Brev.
It's a 1 in 9 to knock the ball down again. I don't know why you would possibly leave a 1 in 9 shot on the ball.
It feels like a mistake to me.
Oh, that's not good.
Well,
that's a double 1 and an injury to Bloodthirsty Witness.
Oh,
and this
Bloodthirsty Witness
is going to draw the Apo, surely. What a disaster for Scytalen here.
I would call this absolutely a disaster. This is like worst case scenario.
Oh, double skull. So anything you can do, Chabxxu can do, well, slightly more deadly really. Executioner Franz is knocked out.
At least he's got a babe, but he does only have 1 babe.
The moment you're watching one coach get all the dice and one coach get none of them.
I did talk about this, didn't I? We've had blowouts before. Weirdly enough, the whole not the best first half ever, still actually not the worst. I'll tell you more in a couple of days if you didn't see the game. Actually, no, we can talk about Papanassi's 2-0
we can.
At the half, can't we? Because that was a couple of days ago now, so... Yeah, at least he's not 2-0 down already. Not anymore they don't, Simon. Not anymore they don't.
We're going to see a handoff here to the Chaos Warrior. We're now just levelling players in the playoffs.
Well...
And a foul coming in with the Guard Beast on Hackflem.
I don't hate it, you know. I really don't. Absolutely leverage the numbers of that.
It's a stunt. No send-off.
Hackflem has been utterly useless, to be fair. Like, he got hit once and has never even got back to his feet.
I wonder if Scytalen might just stay down here.
They do have a babe, yeah. I actually would vanity pass with this Chaos Warrior as well.
Yeah, you can level him with that.
Because you're passing to an extra arms player. So it's a 2+ catch, so you're looking at a 3+, 2+.
And a 3+ to give him it back, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's worth.
Not only considering the Chaos has a bench, but they've got another identical player on the bench.
Literal copy, yeah. The Cat 3 is...
If you do lose the Guard, you just bring another one on.
Take the shoe. What do you mean take the shoe thing? He's got 3 turns to do like a vanity pass. I think it's worth it. To level a Chaos Warrior? Yeah, that's worth it.
Scytalen does indeed stay down.
Especially with your opponent staying down, there's no reason to not go for the vanity pass now.
Well, I mean, other than a whole bunch of snakes, meaning that you don't score at all.
Worst case scenario, you scoop it with the extra arms to your hand.
Or alternatively, you inaccurate pass it into the crowd and the crowd throw it down the field for the Skaven.
Well, that would be a mistake, but yeah, I don't think you'd pass that direction. Looks like we're not going that way to that world ball. File out under things metal doesn't like.
Here comes a foul again on Hackflem. And that is nothing.
But not a send-off.
He's not in range of the ball, Hackflem, but again, I don't imagine that Scytalen's going to do anything with his 6th turn.
I think once you've stayed down, you stay. I mean, then again, Hackflem might want to dodge, because whilst you are staying down and not taking hits, it looks like he's willing to punch you. So, I mean, to foul you even, which means that technically it might be good to run away.
If you can get both Gutter Runner and Hackflem out, then only one of them can take a hit on the next turn, right?
Yeah, scream, get to the chopper and run away.
Unfortunately, what you can't afford to do is burn that reroll.
Well, no, whatever happens, you let it ride, because you need the reroll for the 1 turn.
Now,
What the hell is
actually,
going on in the chat?
what you have to say is that if you're Scytalen, you actually don't want too many of the sweltering heat rolls to happen now, at the end of the half, right? You would rather that only a few of them happen now, and then a bunch of players were taken out in the second half.
Yeah, you want everything to not be affected by sweltering heat this time around. You want everything.
Again, I don't know why you wouldn't increase the number of assists on this. But Hackflem is stunned again, and he will survive by the looks of it. Still no send-off.
It's interesting. I don't know why he's not. He's because he's left players across the board to mark the rats to make sure they stay down. But I think it would be better just doing a bigger foul, if I'm honest.
So on turn 8, the ball runs it in, and the farm animals have the lead. But that's kind of just the beginning of this. The Chaos have had their fun. But now the Skaven get to come out and play.
Ah, well, some of them do. This will be interesting.
Play, and that produces 2 players returning, including Glot.
Okay, now this is really interesting. This is the Rats' best case scenario, insofar as the heat removals on the Chaos.
Yeah, because there's now more chance of play. The Claw Mighty Blow will be back definitely for the second half. But all of these players could now be affected by sweltering heat in the second half, unless, of course, we were to see a changing weather kickoff event.
Yeah, I mean, chat might be going, "What? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they be happy no one went out?" But you've got to remember that if they go out, they cannot be affected by sweltering heat now. So they're only missing for this 1 turn, whereas all 11 players currently on the pitch can be sweltered.
Can one be sweltered? I assume so, if you can have sweltering heat.
I think the thing of sweltering is sweltered, right? You get sweltered by the heat.
I am sweltered, good sir.
Could thou pass me a drink? It's all very Shakespearean up in here.
Do you enjoy this 1-turn defense?
No, it's really useless. Like, what you do, and I'll spell it out for you super quick, is you stick the 1-turner directly in front of the Goat 3, who is not going to be the Goat this match. Yeah. And then you take your Mighty Blow, stick it where the Rookie is, stick the Rookie on the logo in front of the Warrior, and then go, "Ooh, I've got a 2 dice. Bish bash." Well, that's nuts. What are you doing with them? No. I mean, no, it's still not good.
I don't like it.
Better?
We'll just use Glart. It's a natural 2 dice.
Now you just use Glart, because that's what you've been forced to do now. But it's still not great. Synergy is apparently whelmed. What I'd say is he hasn't got enough guard in field. Like, that warrior, the Bull 3, needs to be a guard player.
Indeed. It's straight from the Papanasti School of LOS, folks. But we don't often see it on defense.
Yeah, blitz with Glart is a guaranteed push, right? Because you always blitz, even though you stood still, you always blitz with him to get the push.
Juggernaut, right?
Yeah.
We
It's
have
certainly
changed our tune.
Interesting defense. Did he stop and go, wait, this isn't how we want to, how we want to defense?
I wonder if he was trying... I really hope he wasn't trying to bait out the bingo caster rage.
He is not in here. I already checked. That being said, this is no better, really. It's an Agi 5, for Christ's sakes. Like, there's a massive gap with no tackle in the middle, because you don't have enough tackle in your team. So you just bomb it down the middle. You go from in front of the Frenzy to in the gap between the Frenzy and the Guard, and then back behind the Frenzy again.
So after all of that, we won't even need to make a block. Having said that, it's looking like you might choose to do so. Maybe give yourself 1 extra movement.
I kind of like this, right? If I don't dislike the going for a push at all, because frankly, it makes a lot of sense. Like, a ton of sense. Natural 1-turners are so stupid. Because if you push the guy, it's 1 less GFI, right? That's good. Because GFIing kind of sucks. That being said, this isn't how you get a push.
No, the guard is a problem.
It's not just that the guard is a problem. I mean, like, you have 1-turners in the row. Yeah, the guard's a real problem, actually. Yeah, I'd probably just give it to him and run away.
Gonna use Glart instead.
If you're going for a push player, that's the way to do it. Because, again, both downs aren't both downs.
You could use Glart and just hit the...
I think he's trying to get too fancy. I really think he's trying to get too fancy.
The thing to remember is that if you need the reroll for the handoff or whatever, you don't even make this block. Big Easy TP asking what would the best defense be in this situation?
To cry a lot.
There is very little you can do against a player that can run 13 squares.
It's not the easiest defense in the world, I'm not going to lie. But there's better defense than he's playing out in any of the above situations anywhere.
Well, this is the thing. The natural 1-turner is in a tackle zone. The high kick will be helpful.
High kicks are always nice, aren't they?
Kick
It's 1 less
was
dice.
remarkably good for Chabxxu.
That was a ridiculously good kick, yeah.
And we've even dropped it.
Scatter's alright though. Scatter's actually technically closer. Because you're going that way anyway.
Von Grunk, welcome along to this Rebel playoff match. Now, what is the big idea? We're over the blitz. Well, double power, you're not going to reroll that, are you? So,
No.
but you might kill him. No.
Oh no. That wasn't killing him, Harringzord. That wasn't killing him at all.
So, here comes the sure hands pickup from Bloodthirsty Witness. He's going to try and launch this thing to his mate, Bort Witness.
It is 2s.
All 2s. And now just a bunch more 2s because of Agi 5. 1 3 in the middle, I think.
There is a 3 in the middle. Got to make sure you
There he
path
goes.
right, that you don't just do 3s, because that'd be stupid.
And he's in. 1-1.
He pathed right. He pathed right. I like that.
Both coaches thought about that a lot for something that was fairly inevitable, really. Click end zone. And it's 1-1.
The best way to do it, really, if you've got a full 11-man defense, big easy because you did ask, is kind of like the elf screen. So you've got like a gap by the sideline, 2 players, 2 gaps, 2 players, 2 gaps, 2 players across the field as much as you can. So they're running through as many tackle zones as you can possibly force, especially if there's a gap between each of the 2 players. If that makes sense.
Natural one-turners are not a test of Blood Bowl skill, are they? They are a test of can you not roll a 1.
There's a certain amount of, you know, you have to route the right route through the gaps, and you have to understand the best way to defend it.
Sweltering Heat has taken out 1 rat, which is Glart, and 1 the other Claw-Mighty Blow Chaos Warrior. So I'd say both teams getting away with it on the Sweltering Heat front. Chabxxu especially, considering he was making... I know they're all 2+ for everyone, aren't they?
They're all 2. Well,
Fan factor doesn't affect Heat, you maniac.
It would be weird if it did. But then again, you know, weather gods could be a thing. I don't know. That being said, and I've said that a couple of times, if Glart, like, if this is a long drive and Glart doesn't get back on his feet, we might see the useless star player come out, because he's not done a lot, has he? And by a lot, I mean, I don't think he's done much of anything.
Neither has Hackflem, to be fair. He stood and watched. So the question now becomes, do you just run the ball in again?
I kind of think you might just one turn again. It's a very rat thing to do.
Well, the thing is, if you make it, then suddenly you're asking all the questions of Chabxxu rather than asking all the questions of yourself for an offensive drive, right?
That's very true.
It's Chabxxu who then has to score to take this to overtime. Whereas if you're trying to stall it out a bit, then you could mess up and get it wrong. And it is one more chance for Heat to make a mess of things. An ideal scenario, actually, for Scytalen might be to run in the 1-turner and then have Heat take out his natural 1-turner.
And the entire Chaos team. Yeah, this is a very aggressive setup. He can find at least a turn to stall by just running his 1-turner in the backfield.
The 1-turner set up very deep, though, and we're not looking to do that.
I think I'd have played around the Heat by 1-turning, to be honest. It's not a particularly difficult defense to get through. With the rookie goat being quite exposed on the side of goat 3.
An extra reroll for the Skaven is big news.
That's certainly not going to hurt them. Unlike the Chaos, which is doing their damnedest to hurt them, really. Apparently Luke doesn't want his Woodies to face O'Rabbi.
Welcome to
I
the
think
club.
everyone...
I don't think anybody in Rebel wants to face a Rabbi at any point.
He's kind of like the booby prize, isn't he? Yeah, I get to play my Blood Bowl. Yeah, I get to play my Robbie. No. If you wish an FD on your enemies, you're not trying hard enough, Swagtusk. Or Robbie is far worse.
Here comes a blitz from Judge Alice. And it's a double push.
Well, that's because it's a dwarf team, Swagtusk. I mean, dwarves guarantee miserable games, unless the Harringzord's dwarves, in which case they guarantee exploding hilariously.
Yes. And you can catch the bargain boozers in the new Immortal League.
Yeah, but at least they're immortal, though.
Right, they're going to be way overpowered.
My question is, are you bringing Terry Tennant back with his double niggle?
Yes.
Good.
The thing doesn't have knees. I can't give him knees.
He could have been like the Bionic Dwarf. Like the $6 million dwarf. That was weird. Steam just went very freezy, and then it just popped up that you're playing Blood Bowl. I'm kind of aware you're playing Blood Bowl. I'm casting with you.
We have set the natural one-turner into scoring position.
Huh. Chabxxu has just said in playoff spoilers, let's make a petition to Cyanide to ban natural one-turners.
We just about got away with that.
It's a bit scary. Ball's currently not in hand, though.
I mean, you'd think it's about to be. 2+ with a reroll. Here comes that pickup, and promptly into the hands of Bloodthirsty Witness.
Is he going to pass it off to the one-turner this turn, or is he going to wait till the next turn?
I think he waits.
Because, I mean, the one-turner can't get sacked right now, but he can get based. But, if you save the pass till next turn, you may be passing to a based player.
Or indeed, might have to burn the reroll at a time when you might need the reroll further up the field.
Exactly.
So what do you do now if you're Chabxxu? Do you just make a line? A line of players?
I think you just keep hitting rats. I can't believe the Elliot is still alive, for the record.
The Dirty Player has returned. In fact, all of the KOs have now returned since the first half.
See, now this is what I was talking about with the defense. Actually, I think it's better if that player's one square back, if the goat was a square behind where he was, because there's more dodges that way.
Yeah, the Agi 5 negates the fact that they're stuck together, right?
Pretty much. But the thing you've got to remember is if you put him a square back, it's an extra square he's got to dodge through on the way out.
Indeed. And you would have to roll that 3+ anyway.
I was about to ask where's Glart to blitz him a gap, and then I remember that Glart has decided to take the afternoon off.
Blitz coming in on the armor value 6 Dirty Player. It's like a free removal if you knock him over, but we didn't knock him over.
Questions being asked of Scytalen. Don't know if he's got the answer.
By what? By not one-turning. If you do score this turn, then you have given Chabxxu one less turn to get his equaliser.
But only one, and I think you may have to pay a price to get there. I feel like the play here, potentially, if you don't want to go fast, is to blitz through the beef with your Wrestle Dauntless, and then use the Elliot and Hackflem as kind of like a screen up the side to protect your big hand near the sideline. I kind of feel that's the world in play. Because Kid Crest, playing for OT isn't necessarily the best decision in the universe. Because if you lose the toss, you're pretty much boned. Whereas if you buy enough time that the Chaos can't find a second touchdown, you win. Like, relying on overtime is never the play.
So we are now retreating entirely to the backfield.
I don't like this. File this under things I don't like. It's getting to be a big list, this playoff. Because, I mean, yeah, it's good that he's backing off and things, and that he's... All he's doing is giving up the pitch to the Chaos, and the problem there is he's got a lot of based agility 3 players that can fail dodges.
The cat takes a stun.
No, Steve. Bold requires, like, more aggressive play. But I wouldn't say his odds of winning are less than 50%, Rex. Like, I agree that if your odds are less than 50% going to overtime, 50% is better. But this isn't...
There's two arguments we made here. Yes, he does have the ball and it is 1-1. That's a good thing. But also, it's not 50% in overtime, because even if you do win the toss, you must roll those dice to score, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the best case scenario, assuming you have to make all the rolls, I'm going to check this out to make sure I'm correct. Right, is... This is, pick up. Touch your hands, dodge, touch your feet. Has he got catch? He's got catch, hasn't he?
The thing right now is that Chabxxu, he cannot stick or twist. He has to make sure that he doesn't commit too many players forwards, or the one-turner is going to run away from him. If he overcommits to the backfield, then the Skaven can take all day to score, and then probably will score anyway. So you can only really commit half a team forward, and the problem with that is that the Skaven have a few players like their Stormbird who can then pick them off for some casualties.
Well, put it this way, right? A natural one turn, even with the sure hands, assuming you need to make a pass, even with the catch, even with his dodge, even with sure feet, which he's all got, he's only a 70% chance of success.
He doesn't have catch. There's a failed 3 plus dodge.
He doesn't have catch? Wow, yeah. Okay, that's even worse then. Thought he did. Maybe it was a different one turn. There's a few of them.
The armor value of 6 has fallen over, but has not broken armor, and there's a chance of a surf here, perhaps.
Okay, that brings us down to 66.5%. So it's only a 2/3 chance to actually score a one turn. Which is actually lower than I think many people think it is. Wouldn't you agree, Scott?
Yeah, I think that's one in every 3 of them fails.
And do you want to be the 1 in 3 when he could be gunning for Hack Flemmer here as well? He's got a free shot with his killer. Steve, I put a pass in because it's a deep kick. And that's factoring in the team reroll swag tusk, yeah.
So that has opened up the potential hit on Hackflem.
Yeah, Steve, I was counting the pass because when we saw the one turn in the first half, it had a pass on.
There's a pout. Takes the boat down instead, piles on to Hackflem Scuttle Spike, who is absolutely fine. And there's half a consideration of a foul on that thing now.
Which, the killer.
Hmm.
If you can dodge your dirty player out, there's 100% consideration.
You might not need to dodge him.
That's true.
You might not need to dodge him. But it would involve basing up with one of your gutter runners. You'd probably sacrifice Hackflem to the rookie Chaos Warrior. As the only problem with this being, I think it'd be a 0 assist foul with the dirty player. I don't know how good that is.
It's not the best, I would say, but it's probably worth doing. Because
the bribe is gone.
It's really good though. Even if you trade, if you do get a Kaz on that thing, even if you have to trade your dirty player to do it, your dirty player's lucky to still be alive, given his arm value 6. It's one of only 2 tackle on the entire team as well. So if you are playing for overtime, removing the tackles is massive. Because we've got a long road ahead of us.
We are going for a slightly different route.
Further back.
That needs a reroll.
It absolutely does. Unfortunate. But what can you do? That's not helping.
No, if you were going for the foul play, then that isn't how to do it.
I mean, that all this has turned into is I really, really, really want Hackflem to die. But I think it's kind of been that for a while.
I have to remember that Scytalen did win his division, so has likely been in situations like this before. Trying to find a gap for his one-turner. We are looking for a hole in the field now, and there's a POW on the pig.
He's probably going to put the Dauntless guy down.
Oh, big armor break. Big armor break here. That is a stone on the wrestle tackle. And this will be a scoring threat.
Yeah, that's not going to get completely out of the way for everyone, but it's going to be enough that it's going to be a problem for the Chaos.
It's a distraction, isn't it? It's something for Chabxxu. He has to deal with it.
Has he got a player called the Dog? Because it's time to go chasing. He has got a player called the Dog.
The dog
probably
is
not
the
the one you
ball
want
carrier,
chasing. Yeah, it's probably not the one you want chasing. Appropriate name though. The Dog chasing the ball, right?
And this is the problem. Now do you commit players? Now that you've got players either side of your team, do you commit forwards? Do you commit backwards?
I think you kind of do a bit of both. You put a couple of players on the gunner and then send everyone else forwards.
It does look like he wants to use the Agi-5 for the long pass rather than his one-turning abilities. That is a very, very useful dodge. Well done,
really?
that line rat.
Very big plays from him. Well, it means he's not gone off to see the fans, which is nice.
Now that he's done that and he's surprised,
There's a point where you go, I didn't think I was going to get this far, to be honest.
Now,
Odds.
dirty player dodge for the 1-assist foul.
Odds are good the dirty player is the one that fails, right?
Yeah, he needs a couple of GFIs to get there as well.
I mean, the GFIs at this point, you do them. It's only a 1-assist, but I think you do it.
Armor value 6 GFIs.
You do it. It just, like I say, he's lucky to be alive. Pull the trigger, Harringzord.
3 + 2 + 2 + 1 assist foul.
With dirty play.
With dirty play.
On one of your opponent's only 2 tacklers. It's so worth.
Ooh, I thought he was about to commit him to be another assist, and I wouldn't have liked that. There's a failed 3+. I don't think he'll re-roll it. He can't actually.
Oh!
Elliot.
I did say he was lucky to be alive. No, he isn't.
He's gone. He's gone.
Goodbye, Elliot. We barely knew you. Now, here's a question for you, Harringzord. Do you do 2 GFIs? One with a rookie beast called the Goat, and one with the beef to 3 dice Bought Witness with block. You don't have tackle, but you've got block.
He's got wrestle though, and the problem is that the
he
Skaven
doesn't have wrestle. We're talking about the one turner.
Oh, the one turner. Oh, my bad.
You can get the goat and the beef onto him with a fat 3 dice.
No, I don't particularly like that because the Skaven can still score fairly easily on the next turn anyway.
But if they do, and you've taken out their one turner, haven't you maybe just won the game?
Well, not necessarily. The other gutter runners are still pretty good.
Well, not that good. Not that good. Maybe I just want to see the one turner die.
He is going for the one turner.
Could have made it a 3 dice though.
2 dice and he doesn't knock him over. Will we see the greed reroll? We do, and we get the knockdown. Nothing doing. Absolutely perfect time for Scytalen to roll a double 1.
Yeah, the best time, really.
What it does mean is that the scoring play is potentially off the menu next turn.
Well, he could do it with the big hand guy, but it's not as good.
Down goes Hackflem's Scuttle Spike, who is again fine.
He's literally been useless. Hackflem has done nothing.
He's done nothing, but he also has taken a lot of blocks and fouls and hasn't been removed.
He is absorbing punishment like a boss.
Gerber not a fan of the greed reroll in overtime format.
Gerber's just not a fan.
No, he hates everything. That's how you know that a play has happened, because Gerber hates it.
Gerber needs a catchphrase like bold to sum up how he feels about things.
Surely now it's a little bit too risky to go for the pass, so indeed we're going to hide in the corner.
He loves spoons, apparently, made of wood. That's very, very in the corner. Almost like you could say nobody puts a bloodthirsty witness in the corner, but they kind of have. And he can really get ran down a little bit if the Chaos are willing to do some GFIs.
Well, I don't want to start planning too far ahead until we see what happens with the rest of this turn. But it would be possible to chain push the beef into range to surf him, if the current setup stayed as it was.
That's a very interesting situation. I like that. I like that thinking, Harringzord.
Bought Witness escapes for now. But the play would be to push this Storm Vermin to here, fill these 2 gaps, and then take a block with that Chaos Warrior there. It is possible.
Go on, pronounce that one, Harringzord.
Hang on, we'll see this block.
You're just buying time to read it, aren't you?
Of course I am. Rider 0x7b6. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription and welcome along to the Rebel playoffs. That is useful stuff.
I like the one turner, right? He's in a strong position. He's one less GFI needed. No one with tackle really threatening him. I could see the dog running him down without GFIs, but it's not the best, is it?
I still would like to see that Storm Vermin just dodge away or do something so that we can't make that chain push play.
Guys, Hackflame's on one.
This is good protection of the one turner. Very, very good play from Scytalen this, but he needs to be aware of the fact that this Chaos Warrior can be chain pushed into range.
Like, even if you fail the dodge, failing the dodge is better than existing right now.
Exactly right. There's a POW on the goat.
Goat consistently proving he isn't.
Oh, the goat!
Oh, he really isn't.
It's an MNG. We've gouged its eye out.
That's going to sting. As injuries go. That's a rough one. It's not even a particularly difficult chain push.
It's about whether you can get enough players round the back. You would have to dodge away from the line rat as it stands. But you have dodged for one of those rolls.
Well, couldn't you just knock it down?
No, because then you don't have enough players to fill the gaps.
No, you don't.
Actually, you could dodge out this Chaos Warrior.
I was going to say, that's probably better, isn't it?
With dodge. Metal, you might have to you might have to purge Warhammer Frog.
Sorry, Frog.
Purely for spoilerinos.
Warhammer, we appreciate it, and we love you very much, but spoilers, mate.
Oh, well, an uphill might just do the job. And thus, the play died.
You're not banned, by the way, Warhammer. You were just purged for a couple of seconds. That's enough. Push was enough. Actually, is that still? No, you can still do it, right? No, you can't.
No, making the block in any form was fine, because even a skull was okay.
Yeah.
He just had to do something with that player.
Wait.
Can he?
No, the Killer Goat's in range. You can't surf him, but you can sack him.
That is bold. And Chabxxu is straight onto this. Surely this is a massive oversight.
Yeah, this is a surf. Right?
Now
We were so busy looking at the other dude, we didn't see this dude.
This is a problem, folks.
As far as problems go, this is a big one.
Oh, and the GFI fails.
Well, that helps.
Second time of asking, we will send Bloodthirsty Witness into the crowd, and it is game on here.
Only just. Wow, this is big. Oh, it's huge. Crowd kicking the nonsense out of that guy.
And the movement as well. It's a smashed hit. The ball lands in the end zone, be thrown again. Can the Chaos get that recovered? Because it's not too bad for the Skaven.
Now, the Chaos can, because they've still got a block on Franz's second max. And he has used a reroll, but he's got a player on the ball already, and he does have not enough range on his ball carrier.
He can't secure the thing. This is his problem. And Hackflem won't have too much difficulty picking that up.
He's got to rely on Hackflem. Hackflem has a chance to be good.
It's not about Hackflem, actually. I don't think it is. To be honest, you might just use Bought Witness to pick the thing up, hand it off to Hackflem, and just run with him.
No, because Hackflem can be sacked. Hackflem, the carrier, currently has range to anywhere in the backfield.
But the carrier needs to come forward to threaten the ball, right? Or wrong?
I'd say wrong. You need a sweeper. Because without the sweeper, if you commit the sweeper forwards, he can do exactly what you just suggested. As it stands now, Hackflem is a 2+ dodge, 2+ pickup, 2+ dodge, a way to getting the ball to a one-turner who can run it so far away that the stall is on. And Chabxxu might lose the game.
You can also blitz off the ball carrier. You just need a push. You use the Wrestle Dauntless to just try and push the dog away to save you one of those two pluses.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Hackflem does have extra arms. It's still a 2+.
Chabxxu might well be punished for bringing that carrier forwards, because now he's a sweeper. He's one dude who can still get 2-diced by Judge Alice on the way, because you've got Tom's oldest Carl who can come up and support you for the attack, and that's going to buy you at least 2 turns of stall in the end zone.
You can make the blitz 2-die without Dauntless, though, but you're going the Dauntless route. I don't like that. Well, no,
I kind of like this, because this leaves up the rat, what's it called, Tom's oldest Carl, to help with the Mighty Blow hit against the Leaper with Wrestle and Tackle.
So it's going to be on Hackflem's Scuttle Spike.
Can he be the hero?
Now, we said, quote-unquote, he'd been useless, but he survived a lot of punches and now might get a chance to shine.
Yeah, not only did he survive the hits, he's then ended himself up in a world where he can be the winner, the player that wins the game. You're asking him to do 2+, and it's kind of what he's designed for, right? It's what he's built for. This is his job.
It is quite straightforward right now. Don't roll a 1.
God, you had to say it, didn't you?
And you do want to use Hackflem, because if you use the Gutter Runner, he's going to get killed. He's going the other way. Bought Witness grabs the ball.
Bearing in mind, you're still asking Hackflem to make a 2+ catch if you're going this way.
What if you just... Nope, you hand off and Hackflem fails the 2+.
You were still asking Hackflem, who is a loner, to do a 2+. And he's failed the Lorna.
Is that that? Is that
That's...
it?
Muppetillo, you don't, because Hackflem has extra arms. It's still a 2+. And Hackflem had dodge for the dodge back out. So you're asking for... Either way, you're asking Hackflem to do one unsupported 2+. And I'd have rather put Hackflem in base contact with the Chaos Warrior than Bolt Witness.
Would it not have been better to pass the ball to Scared Witness down the field? You would have had less movement, or less distance, but you would have at least had the ball further down the field.
Well, Scared Witness had already moved, so Scared Witness would have just got sacked anyway.
Well, even if he does, the ball's still massively screened off from the rest of the Chaos team.
Can we revert back to that point where we suggested that Hackflem has been useless? And then, we were about to revert because he had the chance to be a hero. Hackflem's been useless.
There's an extra arms goat. I mean, he's a dog, but he's a goat. In a perfect position.
As long as they can knock Hackflem down, and you kind of go for Hackflem, not the one-turner, you can get the ball up on the dog, and you're pretty much good.
There's a pow on Scuttle Spike. He still survives against Claw Mighty Blow.
Well, the claw would have done nothing.
If Chabxxu gets a hold of this, that might be that.
It pretty much is, I think. If he gets the ball in hand, the dreams are pretty much dead. And it's a very good player for getting the ball in hand, I would say. But there's still a sack. He's still got Scared Witness.
It's not a great cage, is it?
I just think it was a massive misplay bringing the dog so far downfield, but it's turned out, because we got a 1 at a critical point, that he wasn't punished for it. And was actually rewarded for it.
Now, you can take a 3+ with any of these players on the far side. Or you can take a 2+ with Hackflem to mark up that Frenzy Goat.
I'd personally take a 2+ with Hackflem.
But that reroll again. Hackflem is away, gets his 6 this time.
He does have dodge as well, remember. He is still a gutter.
Oh yeah, he does have dodge. It's a very good point. Scared Witness will have a Dauntless into a 1 dice. Dauntless fires, and the 1 dice is not good. Rerolled into a POW. Game on.
Game's back on the menu, boys. Depending on where the scatter goes, of course.
RG5 won't have any problem with that. Line Rat hero down the field.
It might have to be, I think that's got to be the world.
RG2.
It's still got to be the world you live in.
RG5 about to do RG5 things.
God, RG5 is disgusting.
He's continuing on his merry way. Has used a dodge skill at this point.
1s are scary, but you kind of got to keep going.
He's on his way, and now it's into GFI. No, he's got loads of movement left.
He's got tons. He's fast.
So much movement left.
He's insane, this player.
And Bought Witness is away.
But he's eminently sackable.
Well, you probably just take your sure feet rolls here, don't you?
Of course you do. But
and you can scream.
God, this player's...
If you can make a 3+ dodge with Judge Alice, you can scream with the Line Rat and the Storm Vermin. And you essentially...
This player's so gross.
It's just insane. That was just stupid.
It's so filthy.
Hackflem has been bailed out by Bought Witness.
I'm still claiming Hackflem is the useless star player award.
Now, can you afford to re-roll the 3+ dodge if it fails?
You haven't got a reroll.
No, you haven't got a reroll. It's a very good point.
I actually think it would be worse for you if you dodge and fail.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're forcing them to hit you. But if you dodge and fail, the sheep will have the ball.
Well, the dog is now miles out of the game, the ball carrier.
No, true. Okay, well, you'll have the ball carry.
I fear for the life of the of this Wrestle Dauntless because he can be served. But it might be too much of a commitment if you need to sack the ball.
That's a huge commitment. That is a monstrous commitment. What would you do that for?
I said you can, not you would.
I agree with this decision to not dodge with Judge Alice. Because that makes his life so much more difficult. Could we see the leap play?
Nope.
No.
Nope. We're going to see a hit on the ball from the sheep.
I mean, can you blame me for wanting to see the leap play? Would you hit Hackflem first? Yeah, I will. We're hitting the Scared Witness.
Pow on Scared Witness, and this could be a big one. The Apo is gone. Typically, once I've said that, nothing happens.
The bailout was absolutely the sacker. The sacker's done. I don't know. The Bought Witness did the business.
Chabxxu has one reroll left, and probably the thing is the stall's gone on so long now that he has to commit the thing. A 1 in 9 on this dodge, and this one is pretty much done. The Chaos needs 2 turns.
It's not even a 1 in 9, is it? Because he's got to go forwards to keep the distance. So surely he's got to... Hang on. 1,
No,
2.
he can make it with 2 GFIs. If he dodges out on the 3+.
Yeah, he can.
And the dodge scare to 1 in 9, and this game is surely done.
Get a 4 carrying as well. This one's done.
Unless the Chaos can 2-turn. Now, is there a world in which you consider trying to sack that beast? Or do you just run this in and hope that the heat takes out enough Chaos players so that they can't skull?
I reckon you just run it in. You've got 1 reroll, and it's scary. Chaos can 2-turn. We saw a 1-turn attempt from Circe that almost came off.
Oh, he's going to stall. He is going to stall this one out in the far corner.
That's not a terrible decision.
Because nobody else can reach with the exception of the Lamb 2. What he might consider doing is dodging out the Storm Vermin now to try and sack that player. We are stalling in the corner, and Sure Feet is gone. A 3+ dodge can give you a sack on the Lamb, and it's actually done at that point.
I mean, it's almost done anyway, because you're asking an Agi 2 to 1 in 36. An Agi 5 to 2+.
Oh, Hackflem's going to make the blitz.
Alright, Hackflem.
He's zooming all over the place, and double pows the Lamb.
Okay, Hackflem has earned himself the title of not being useless.
And all rats must die are on the brink of dispatching both farm animal teams.
They've done it. They've really done it. Like, this was all Chabxxu's to lose at this point. And he just didn't respect the nonsense rats. Like, I love seeing the chain push play to surf him. But he did not respect the nonsense rat at all.
There is no way for the farm animals to stop this touchdown.
I hope he was...
all of the rats have disengaged.
I hope against hope he was watching Circe's game against Scytalen. Nah, it was all a combination of Scared Witness and Bought Witness.
Oh, there was 2 players. It's a 2-man team.
Scared Witness did the business on the sack.
We're going to see a blitz on the Storm Vermin. Executioner Franz. And we might see a big old frustration foul.
You're going to see a pile on regardless, but I think you absolutely foul it too.
Nothing doing there.
Maybe even going so far as to use the Bull 3 as it.
Honestly, I might have frustration fouled Scared Witness personally.
Yeah, I think that would be the choice. Just on the off chance you could pull off that 1-turner.
We are protecting the killer. But I
He's
don't
not going
think
to foul you, dude.
Kylan cares. The bribe is gone. And I don't think we'll roll anything else. Now,
No,
it
you
is
don't.
possible for a riot here, so the game isn't quite finished.
You can one-turn as Chaos. Seus did it. Apart from the dodges.
With
And Seus
nothing
didn't
else
have
to
an
do.
extra a two-heads player to do it with as well. That has dodge, which is even better. If he was watching the Seus game, he could engineer a one-turn, assuming the heat is nice for him.
Bort Witness scores again, and it's his 5th touchdown of the playoffs.
He does have Frenzy as well. And I would have to agree with Trout. The Rats have outplayed Chabxxu at this point.
It is looking like another famous win for a G-Man fresh team. The G-Man rookie divisions are absolutely flying. Of course, the other day we saw Toast Guy getting the win against Ramhard and the Memeland Bashers. Toast Guy becoming the undead team that's now made the furthest in Rebel playoff history. No undead team has ever made it. I don't know if you saw the article, Metal.
What's this, sorry?
I don't know if you saw the article from yesterday about the playoff stats.
I did not know. Not yet.
If you get over to news.rebel.net, there's an article there from Rodder. He's finally finished penning that one. And it's having a look at how each race has done in the playoffs. Frenzy is gone, thanks to sweltering heat, as is Wrestle Tackle Leap.
That's enough, because you need a full team.
He needs a riot now. Did you know, Metal, by the way, no human team has ever won a playoff match?
Wow. That's an interesting fact.
I was amazed when I found that out yesterday, but no human team has ever won a playoff match.
I like the article because oh, god damn it.
Well, of course, as the only vampire team to ever qualify, he's kind of made it the furthest, right? And of course, Bloodsuckers Inc. will be in action in around 40 minutes' time on this channel.
Super duper noob. We've kind of been saying that for a while.
Perfect defense means that this one is done, and the farm animals are out, as were AnimalFarm. Scytalen is going through to the round of 16.
So what you're saying is rats are better than random animals?
Apparently so, yeah. There is no rat on the farm animals team, and that was clearly the mistake today. Because it was one rat that made a difference, and Bort Witness is an absolute hero. Here's a pout from the rabbit, looking for 2 more SPP for the collection. Nothing doing that, and we'll still have a hit to take on Galart at some point. Here's a Claw Mighty Blow hit.
Yeah. My stairs is right, like, Monica had a playoff match won until he kind of had an aneurysm.
Yeah, that one was referenced, the fact that the Drakewald Abras were 2-0 up against Gengar last season and proceeded to lose the game. Now, can the sheep level? Nothing doing. And is there any world in which we do not see a spite foul, assuming this pass works, and we can level the bowl here with a vanity pass. Pass is good, the catch is bad. And extra arms. Oh, it's a double one to round off a horrible day for Chabxxu.
Basically just slapping it in there, right?
The farm animals are out, and I'll say it again, all rats must die. Are going to the last 16.
It was a well-controlled game, I think, by the Rats.
They were down again. We see a Skaven team down around 700.
It turns out, like, Skaven are really good when you give them tons of inducements.
Random guy, if you guys can start in 10 minutes, that's absolutely great. We will roll straight to that game.
Absolutely, we'll pull the trigger.
That actually saves me having to fill 35 minutes of airtime here.
Well, let you grab a drink, go to the loo, and then we can talk about the teams.
Indeed. So all rats must die. They didn't level anyone that game, but I don't think they care. Bought Witness with 2 touchdowns, and I think it's a second loss in the round of 32 now for the farm animals. Not quite able to get past this stage, which is a shame for them. Chabxxu's had a good season, but not to be in the end. And it's all about, we mentioned it, didn't we, in the preview?
To be fair, Steve, right? I didn't assume Chabxxu was going to go nuts, right? I didn't assume that he was going to decide that he didn't need a sweeper anymore. I didn't assume that he'd forget how to cage. Like, it was all over unless players do really nutty things. And it turns out they did really nutty things.
Yeah, Agi5 is Agi5. And it's a great result at the end of the day for Scytalen. Who now is he a bit of a dark horse? For those who, what I'm going to do now is there's going to be some spoilers from the Drakkars Dominators and the Film Flayers game. So if you don't want to know who won that game, you've got about 5 seconds to mute the stream.
Look away now!
That's enough. These rats are playing Drakkars Dominators next.
They're going to explode.
There's
going to be clouds of ratty mist everywhere.
That's about 2100 TV of Norse coming to meet this lot.
They've lost one of their best players, though.
They have.
Bloodthirsty Witness is down.
It's an MNG, which gives them more inducement cash, would you believe it, for the next round. Let's see if we can have a look. I don't know if the game's been confirmed. Doesn't look like it has. No, it has. Yeah, they're at 1270 because they get the rookie gutter runner back.
The good old REBBL old guard, who consists of Sace and Stubings and Arch and everybody, have just said to my stairs carry us like Sam carries Frodo. Big fan of that.
So,
I think these rats are just going to explode because there's just going to be berserkers jumping all over them, and
yeah, they'll be introduced to
they're due an explosion. Rats are always due an explosion.
All rats
when it comes,
must die. Right?
They must. Yes, they must.
But specifically, if you Chabxxu, just one particular rat must die right about now. And it is the frankly magnificent Bought Witness, who is a mere 2 touchdowns and a vanity pass away from... In fact, no, two vanity passes. I do apologise.
You can't, right? He needs to feed. It's a bad place to say it or try it, but he wants to get Scared Witness leveled up, because if you can get that thing tackle or strip, my God, would that be good. Like, that would be so good on a Scared Witness. For SPP. It needs to happen, really.
I reckon there is tea. It's been a while since we had myself, Metal, and T on a playoff cast, hasn't it?
God, that's vintage.
That's vintage REBBL. Let's do that. And what we'll do now is we will move over to the next match. So what I'm going to do very, very briefly is I'm going to take the stream down very temporarily. Just so that if people want to watch the VODs, there's 2 separate VODs available.
It also makes it easier for you to highlight it. I'm on to you. I know how you work.
Right? Absolutely right. So don't go anywhere. I'll rename the stream, of course, so that people watching the second VOD know what the hell they're watching. But we are going to temporarily take this down, and we will be back very, very shortly. What I will probably do... In fact, no, I won't, because if I put music on, I've stopped the stream. That'd be stupid.
Yeah, well, you can play music for us. I'd appreciate your in-house DJing.
Back in a second.